What a drop for Bitcoin. And now everybody is asking, is the worst over? Are we bouncing here right now back to the upside? Is this just a fake out, or will there be more blood in the streets? I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing right now with Bitcoin and what I expect going to happen here next, and also which altcoins I'm buying right now during this dip. If you think that's interesting and you want to make a lot of money with me together, as usual, then don't forget, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let me show you what I actually found here. So when we're looking here at Bitcoin, then you can see that we are moving back up here right now. We tapped here a demand zone on the 30 minutes chart from 65,200 to 65,878. We dipped slightly in it and then bounced straight back up, and it looks like that we are somewhat of a W pattern forming here right now. We're trying to break right now here this resistance line at $68,700. If we are able to manage to break that, the next move for Bitcoin would be here into this imbalance, and the top of it would be $70,700. That would be the next imminent target for Bitcoin here based on the 30 minutes chart. So, and from there potentially we could move here back into that resistance area that we basically deviated out to the downside earlier today. Yeah, the top side is here at $73,000 more or less for that area. Indicators are telling us also a clear story. We had here a bullish divergence, and this is basically playing out right now here. So if we are breaking above $68,700 and get continuation, then we can say, yeah, the bullish divergence is here right now playing out to 100%. Now, if we would lose the $65,300 level, then we have to start looking at lower levels where Bitcoin might actually go and find support. And I'm going to show you that in a moment here. When we are going here for that to the 1 hourly time frame, you're going to understand. Here on the 1 hourly time frame, I want to remind you, I pointed out yesterday that there was here a bearish divergence. So, and yeah, as we have seen today, it did not finish to play out when we were kind of like here. So it continued. So, but now we can definitely say it is completed with Bitcoin most likely forming here a bottom. So, but you see also that the Monday high, the Monday low, it was at these levels that we are bouncing off right now, and that shows me also that there is some strength in Bitcoin here right now. And for the moment, temporarily, we don't want to move any lower here. Of course, that can change if something crazy happens again, you know. So, but for the time being, it doesn't look like it. And I'm gonna show you some other proof also why I believe that this drop might be already over for Bitcoin here in, at least for the weekend. Let me put it this way: if we would get further downside, it would be actually healthy for Bitcoin, because from the top here to the lowest point, so that was an 11.4% drop, which is kind of the same what we got last time also. It was around 14-15%, you know, and we directly shot the same day back up, you know. It looks like that we kind of get the same thing here today again, but I would love to see, even though my portfolio would bleed a lot, I would love to see something like this here. Look at this. I would like to see a move like this to $58,900. I'm saying I would like to see that. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. So, but there is the biggest support level right now here on the spot chart beneath us. So if we would ever get there, that would be a big buying area for me, and most likely the biggest buying opportunity in this upcoming bull run. When we're moving then on to the liquidation levels, here also we see clearly on the 4 hourly chart from where we bounced off. Here is a horizontal support level, as you can see. So why horizontal support? Because it was resistance over here and here and here until we broke it, and then it got retested as support also multiple times, and now again a beautiful retest. as long as this line is holding, I not expect any further downside. So this line is at $67,650. Sorry guys, that's where it is. Yeah, so as long as that is holding, with that range that we sitting on below at 65,829, I believe that we are good here, as long as we have here our demand zone that we can rely on to continue to go here further to the upside. I want to show you something else. I would not be me if I would have not taken advantage of that crazy Bitcoin move. So let's see if you can see this. So let me bring the microphone closer. So I actually opened a Bitcoin trade. See, I'm here almost $3,000 in a profit. It's a 100x leverage trade. I'm not saying you should do that, you know, trade with 100x, but here on this account, I did it. So I'm here up now almost 200% on this trade. And I'm going to keep it open, you know, until $73,000. That's more or less the target where I want to go, where I want to see that going here. So based on the liquidation levels, we have cleaned up here a lot right now. We have some new shorts coming in here. And of course, underlying long liquidations. There's a lot of long liquidations here based on this indicator. But I'm going to show you now something else really interesting. Here on the liquidation heat map, the biggest level that we need to tap to get another massive push to the upside is right now around $74,440. So if we would break into that level, we would liquidate $150 million, and that will trigger another short squeeze and potentially bring us all the way above $75,000. For that to be happening, we need to get first here above $68,670. If I would draw here a line, you see here is a big resistance right now, regardless what the heat map says. So, but if we are breaking above that, then things start looking much better, that we are moving in the direction of $70,000 here once again over the weekend. Then the funding rate heat map is also something that I had a look at. And here we can see right now, everything more or less has cooled down. If I pull here the color slider down to 83%, you know, so if I go here, the more I go here now to the right side, the cooler actually the funding rate becomes, you know, but here it increases in percentage, you know. So if I put it here to 83, where I was earlier, so almost all the way back. So then you see here a lot of these coins have already resetted. When we're looking at the Bitcoin funding rates, also they have here completely resetted, as I just said. Open interest, got also nicked a little bit here to the downside, but that's normal, you know. We saw here a big liquidation flush today, and basically the pigs got slaughtered that came late to the party because they thought it's a good idea to go long when we were creating some local tops, you know. So that is of course not a good idea unless you have proper risk management in place. So here you on this Bitcoin weekly chart, I just wanted to show you quick that we basically got rejected here from the $69,000 level. Remember, that is the prior all-time high. I also told you guys for a long time already, I'm not surprised that if we would see something like that, because it is the prior all-time high and the big resistance to close a weekly candle above it. I still believe that the bull's going to try to close above that level this weekend. If we would do so, then most likely we are continuing to go here straight to the upside. But let's say if this candle stays in red as it is right now and we open up under that prior all-time high, then you should get ready for a small correction before we see any further upside here. But as long as we are here around that level or above that level, we should get continuation for Bitcoin here to the upside. Let me give you one Bitcoin trade. So if you're looking for a Bitcoin trade right now, then my next trade would be here. So you want to wait that this line gets broken. And this is sitting at $68,675 right now. If you see a 15 minutes or 30 minutes candle close above that, that's where I would start longing this. And I would long this into this resistance area here all the way up to $73,000. And here this, under the last 30 minutes candle, that would be my stop loss. So you see here the risk to reward ratio is 1 to 3.5. That's absolutely fine. We are talking here about a take profit of 6.16%. If you use 20x leverage, that's like 132%. That's absolutely fine here on a trade like that. So if you get stopped out, it's 35% more or less that you take on a loss here. Like I said, if you want to trade this, wait for the break of the $68,675 level. So I'm also going to show you here quick some of my trades that are running right now. I have still my injective trade. I have RUNE still running. I have here SUI, which is a little bit in a loss, and I also still have my WIF trade. You know, my WIF trade is outperforming everything else here once again. So I'm, you know, guys, I trade on BYBIT, you know, so if you want also to trade on BYBIT, these trades with me together, especially the ones that I'm going to give you now, then don't forget, under the video are here the link to BYBIT, where you still get $30,000 with this link here, and also on Margex, I'm still managing funds there. You basically deposit money there, then allocate it to the strategy, and I manage the strategy, you know, so the link is also here down below. And as you can see here, the strategy is making money. We are up here $3,500 on a trade that I made today. And there's of course also really amazing that even you see in these conditions we're able to make money here. So, and don't forget, if you cannot use BYBIT, then use BITGET or Phemex, and for traditional copy trading just use FAIRDESK, $120,000 in bonuses, which is the highest in the industry. So now I want to talk a little bit about Ethereum, because Ethereum is still really, it is showing signs that it is quite weak here right now. And this is something that I wasn't expecting, you know. Okay, the Deacon update, there was maybe like a sell the news event, but still, I was surprised that Ethereum is not rallying crazy back to the upside and is fighting right now here with the 0.68, 0.65 golden ratio here at $3,735. $3,762 kind of struggles to break higher from here. So another reason for that, of course, is here the big volume traded areas. There will also be now again a big resistance on the way back up, especially with the point of control being around $3,900. Yeah, we have to see and wait how this is developing. For the time being, if you're looking for Ethereum trade, I would trade only if we are breaking above the golden ratio. I would not enter a trade beforehand, you know, so wait that we are breaking $3,762. That's where I would enter this. Otherwise, if Ethereum would start losing here the $3,565 level, basically what we touched with this wicket to the downside, you should get ready for further continuation to the downside in Ethereum. To potentially $3,440. So I'm not saying we are going there, but just be aware of that. You know, if you lose $3,500, we go another $100, $200 to the downside before we find any major support here, because you see that also here on the volume traded area. If I go a little bit more to the side, yeah, see there is some support coming in then for Ethereum, and here's also another point of control then. Here on the 30 minutes chart for Ethereum, here on the retracement levels, this golden ratio here at $3,400 might be a target right now for the bears to drive the price down there. If we are coming down here, I will just add more to my Ethereum long position that I have already. If you don't have an Ethereum long position, that's a good place to open one. And also don't forget, we should potentially have here a divergence. I just want to check that. Yeah, so look here, price down, RSI up. So here's the divergence. Again, once we are breaking $3,750, this divergence is starting to play out, and there you should then start entering this trade, and then you can trade this to around $3,900. Look how Ethereum is reacting around this level, as I just mentioned. And then if Ethereum continues to rally from there, then the next target would be $4,300, and afterwards basically the prior all-time high. The Bitcoin dominance is dropping here. That is also something that we were anticipating. I had mentioned that so many times, guys, you know, so I always wanted to see that the dominance is kind of here going sideways and in staircases down, you know, and then again sideways push staircase down, and it looks like that we're actually getting this here right now. I like what I'm seeing. The only thing what I don't like is that the dominance is dropping because Bitcoin is going down, and that has an effect on the altcoins. So I would rather see Bitcoin just moving sideways and the dominance dropping, and altcoins would start to explode. But we are getting there. We're not that far away, guys, from it actually to be happening. So we just need to be a little bit more patient, just a little bit. But here on the Bitcoin dominance right now, we are under 53.5%. I would like to see a move under 53% and then a move to 52.2, from where we would most likely get a bounce back to the upside. And that would most likely also coincide with Bitcoin rallying to like $80,000 or something like that. So, but we should get a small rally in altcoins here over the next, let's say 7 to 10 days, in my opinion. When I look now here at the RSI heat map, you see here a lot of coins are right now in oversold and in buying territory. Therefore, for example, okay, TRX, I'm not really interested in TRX. So, but here, for example, Optimism here at $3.80, really cheap, Lido, LDO, Arbitrum, TIA, Theta, Bitcoin, here Ethereum even, so a lot of coins. So, and I have found some of the strong coins today when Bitcoin was actually dropping that have performed really, really well. And I want to give them to you so that you can position yourself in these coins right now. So it's quite a lot. So I want to run through them as quickly as I can because it's really quite a lot. So let's start off here with AVAX. So you see here, AVAX is right now in a resistance area. If AVAX is able to manage to break out of this, the upper side of that area becomes your entry, $56.63, and you see it in our take profit points here, 65, 79, and I think the other one is $97. So these are the take profit points. If for some reason we are coming back into the buy zone, then I'm going to long from there, but this will be only happening if we get rejected from $56.80. Let's say if we get rejected from there here one more time, then I believe that we are coming back into the support area here, which is the buy zone with this upward sloping trend line. As long as that trend line is holding, I'm going to buy. Lose that trend line and break under the buy zone, there's my stop loss. That's where I'm going to get out, but otherwise I will be buying and longing a little bit of AVAX. The other one that's really strong here is Zai. Here also, we are right now in that resistance area. If we can manage to break above that, then we also need to break the downward sloping trend line here, which is coincidentally also the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders pattern that you see here. So if I would treat this as an inverse head and shoulders, then the technical target would be around $1.40-ish, I think. $1.20, what is this? $1.27. $1.27 would be the technical target for this. So here again, same play. If we are breaking here above the resistance level, I'm going to long this at 90 cents. If we are failing to do so and we come back into the demand zone, 77 to 80 cents, I'm going to buy from there, because this was also a really significant level here in the past. Look at it here, deviation with a fake out, deviation, and only then we finally broke that, turned it into support. Here we had again a deviation to the downside, here support, and now again support. So this is a big support level, and that's why I'm looking at this to open also a trade on Zai here. To the upside, the target, like I just said, is $1.27. Otherwise, the only way how to figure out where we might going here with Zai is if I pull the Fibonacci extensions. So you see, yeah, so the neckline, the inverse head and shoulders target is kind of in alignment with the Fibonacci extension here, the $1.31, $1.33. So that would be then most likely become my target. So now I understand also why the price action is also fighting with that resistance level, because there is also a Fibonacci level, the golden ratio sitting here right now. So if we can flip this into support, then we will definitely rally here into the next one. So another one that I'm watching closely. Then Jupiter is another one that I'm looking at, and look at this crazy bounce here to the upside. Wow. So yeah, it almost went already to the target. I did not see that at all coming. So maybe we have to up our targets here right now. Let me have a look. So this is on a 1 hourly time frame. To put this here on. Wow. So yeah, I did not see this coming at all. So the next target would be $1.44, but only if we flip the prior all-time high. But we are really close to it to flip it. It's at $1.05. So, and that's also where I would be entering now in that instance. But be careful, it's really dangerous to enter a coin at price discovery because you don't know where this coin is going to stop to run. So I would have my stop loss basically at $1.02 if we are breaking $1.05 and it moves higher. So be aware of that. Then AGIX, also AGIX tried to break out here right now out of that resistance and to break this downward sloping resistance line. If we see that happening here at like $1.18, we are most likely to rally into $1.27 and all the way up to $1.34. In my opinion, again, if you see any major pullback back into the buy zone here to like $1.09, $1.11, a big buy for me because it has shown here multiple times a strong support over here, and now also today. So we should be good if we are buying there and trade this then to the upside. Another one is Tau. Tau also, yeah, Tau basically went also already here a little bit into the first take profit point here, and we got really close to touch the buy zone. My entry for Tau would have been here, this upward sloping support line, this dashed line that I have here. There I would have bought a little bit already, and you see here we are right now in the first take profit point here. If we break above that at $620, that's the next time where I would be buying. Just be careful here around this downward sloping trend line if we are able to break this. If we are getting rejected from there, I might add more to my position. But if we lose here $607, then on the way back down, that's where I would have my stop loss and would cut the trade. And otherwise, I would trade this to like around $700 to the upside. RUNE is another one that I'm trading right now, as you have seen here on Margex. Yeah, like again, $3,500 is right now the profit on this trade. Here you see the big buy zone. That's where I was buying for this trade. If you see any correction back into that level, I'm gonna add to my positions, also on the other platforms where I'm trading RUNE right now. And here also watch this downward sloping trend line. If you don't want to enter now, that's fine. You can potentially enter a little bit earlier here at $9.45. When we break above that, again, you want to see a 15 minutes or 30 minutes candle close above that level before you enter this. If you get this, you can enter this. And I would trade this then here into that take profit area. This is a big resistance from the last cycle, around $12.80 to $13.90. In that vicinity, I would start taking some profits off the table for RUNE on my short-term trade. On my long-term trades, of course, I'm going to keep them open. Another one is Fetch. But Fetch, so here you're kind of lucky. Fetch is fighting here with $2.82 or $2.83. Once we're breaking that level, it's going to send higher to like, I think I saw $3. Let me actually have here a look quick with the Fibonacci tool here again, from the high to the small low here in the short term. So $3.64, and afterwards it's $4.43. So I believe if we are breaking $2.82, we move here to $4.43. So that would be a really juicy trade for us. So from current, no, let's take it from where it's breaking. So that would be a 56% move to the upside once we are breaking $2.83. So my stop loss, I'm gonna show you quick where my stop loss would be. My stop loss would be here, this downward sloping trend line, more or less. I will put it here under the current 4-hourly candle bottom. So here at $2.72 would be my stop loss. That is like a 3.8% stop loss. But this is also a swing position for me here to the upside. So I have a 3.8% stop loss against a 60% profit. That's definitely worth taking. I guess you would agree to that, right? Yes. So here also indicators pointing to the upside here. Stochastic gives a buy signal, MACD about to flip bullish here, RSI to the upside. So everything looks like that we are going higher from here for fetch. Another one is Link. Link is right now in the buy zone. So if you want to buy it, it's a good moment to buy here on the 12-hourly chart. We got rejected from this resistance area. Of course, I would not sell into that resistance here from that buy zone, because I believe Link will move really, really soon here in direction of $34. It's doing the same thing that it did in the past, like around $14, you know. So we had kind of like that movement here also down there, and then at some point you got one candle to the upside like this. So I see something similar happening here for Link. When I look here in the indicators for that, this could be happening potentially tomorrow or a couple of days afterwards, based on what I'm seeing here. So but my target would remain here at $34. If you want to have a short-term trade, you can start taking profits here at $25.75 and $26.90. That's where I will be also looking at to take some profits off the table on my shorter time frames. Another one is DYDX, also really good level where we are at right now. If you see DYDX coming back to this upward sloping trend line, a really, really big buy for me down there to add to my positions. Otherwise, we want to see that we are holding this resistance area that we are trading in right now. If we're able to break that, we're going to continue to go to the upside. Most like the first target would be $7.15, because there's not much resistance here in between $4.36 and $7.15 once we are breaking here $4.37. And this is also, as you can see here, a 66% move. And yeah, I have a quite big position on this here already, but you see indicators are also lining up already for a potential a big pump here for DYDX. Then the last one is, I think it's the last one, yes. So the last one is INJ, Injective also here bouncing off the support right now beautifully. Here, I would wait for $45, yeah, $45 and $11 to be broken. Once we are breaking that, also then you should see a nice pop here to the upside for INJ. Here my target is $64, and here the golden ratio around $75. These are my imminent short-term targets. Let me actually get it a little bit more accurate here for you guys. Yeah, so there you see $64 more or less. And like I said here, the golden pocket is around, the middle would be $75.50. That's where I'm looking to take some profits on my INJ trade. So, but like I said, wait here for the break of $45 and $11. That's the level right now that we need to break, because here was the prior all-time high. We tested it twice. Then we went a little bit higher. Then we popped above it yesterday and the day before that. And now we are under it again. So I want to see that to be flipped before I will add to my position and see this pumping another time to the upside, because otherwise this here could have been just a big deviation, and now we are coming back down a little bit before we see another attempt to break this to the upside, guys. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. Let me know which coins you are trading. I showed you a lot of good coins here. I believe that will perform really well here over the next coming days. And yeah, don't forget, smash off the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you'll see you then again. I hope with a lot of profit tomorrow.